it's Ronnie, and welcome to 12 Days of Christmas, hosted by Kathy Feigl. And as you can tell by the title, we're all making something Christmas. I'm making a layout, and I'm going to use those two photos right there, and they are my oldest grandson and the twins when they were still in car seats. And I'm going to use that Spellbinders die. It is of a car. It's uh, Road Trip is what it's called. And I got it on one of their specials, at $10. I mean, and it runs a lot higher usually. I'm showing there I use that embossing folder to emboss the white on the photos. And I am going to use one of these dies for my title. It's going to be Gnome for Christmas, I think. No, Gnome for the holidays. I knew that didn't sound right. I will use all of them because I thought I might as well clear that out. And they're pretty old. They're from my mind's eye, I think. I will use 4 of those, and they're clear. I'm not going to use the twine, but it's from Doodlebug. And I'm not going to use any stickers. I forgot about them. Y'all know I am the worst at remembering to put the stickers on there. I am using papers from Photoplay, Tula and Norbert's Christmas Party, I think is what it's called. And made by Elves Craft Consortium one. They even have cut apart with the front and back folder, and I did cut a sign out. It looks just like the one right there. And I'm going to use it. I did several, well, lots is the word for it, of fussy cutting. I did layer 2 pieces of paper together and gutted one so that I could have it for something else. And I'm putting the photos on there because I'm not quite sure how much room the other stuff is going to take. And I wanted to make sure that I worked around them. This is the front part of the card. It also has a back part, and it's a vignette die is what they call it. And it has not an accordion fold, but a folded thing that goes in between the front and back so you can make a 3D car and send it out, and it still fit into an envelope. I think an A2 envelope's what it fits into. I used some mirror cardstock for several things on here, and it has the bumper parts that stick out that die cut separately so you can layer them. And it also has parts to the headlights there, but I'm going to use those clear enamel dots from Gina Marie instead and have them bubble out like lights do sometimes. I did consider using glitter paper for those 2 parts on each headlight, but when I thought of the clear enamel dots, I decided I want to use them instead. I did put the grill upside down. I did not even notice it till I was editing the video, and I decided to go ahead and leave it. It is that way. I did change a couple things that I noticed while doing the video, but that is not one of them. It looked fine this way, like it was made to go that way. I am putting the hood ornament up there on the top, but I will also put a little holly sprig there too. Now, looking at this one piece, I was trying to think, is this a dash and part of the dash showing, or is it the back of the seat that the person would be sitting in poking up there a little bit, because this is a 3D car normally? And I finally decided it was the back of the seat. About the time I start to glue, well, I did glue it down, and there I go. I pull it up because I have to leave a place for my driver, because I decided at that last second that it was the back of the seat poking up there. Now, my first thought was to put Santa in the front seat of the car. Well, then I thought, I'll use this title and put a gnome Santa in the front seat of the car. And then by the time I got to the car, I'd already put red as the background, decided on the red for the background, and red on red. So I pulled this scrap out here. I do not know what collection it's from. I'm thinking it's Echo Park though, and I'm going to use it to create my gnome. It's not going to be a Santa gnome, but it is going to be a gnome. And I'm going to forget a body part. Well, I don't know if you call it a body part or not, but I'm going to forget something. Now, the whole idea of the 1 inch circle was to kind of use it like a base, not really have any of it showing, but it will show all the way through the video. I will fix it after I got done with all the editing just before I started the voiceover. However, you're going to see it not fixed all the way through the video. I'm making a brim for the hat, and I wanted it to look kind of furry, like Santa's would look, only on the gnome hat. I wanted to add that bit on there because I was going to put a pom-pom thing on the end of his hat, so I kind of wanted them to match. There are plenty of gnomes and Santas that I could have fussy cut out and put there, and I did lay the piece that is the windshield on top of several in both the Photoplay and the Craft Consortium. But then I just decided to make my own gnome because I wanted him to stand up high enough where the car looked almost too little, and him look like he's just traveling along the thing, looking over the top of the windshield. Now, I want his nose to be bigger. Y'all know I like a bigger nose on my gnomes. I will make some smaller just to add variety if I got more than one in my layout. But I used a 1/2 inch oval on this one, so it is a little bit on the big side. And there, I was trying to judge the amount for his shoulders by lining it up with the head. And I think that's why I forget a body part. Have y'all figured out what it is yet? Because that's how he is. That's how he's going to be on there, right like that. Um, I am going to punch out 2 1/2 inch circles so that I can, well, that might be a 1/3 inch. One or the other. I'm pretty sure it's 1/3 inch now that I'm looking at it. For his hands on the steering wheel, I could have hand cut something, fussy cut something, but I like using the punch so it's quick and it's easy, and everybody can tell what it is whether it gets anything but a circle or not. Now, I don't know if this is really a steering wheel uh, for this car. That round piece there, it was in the center of the wheel. It has a decorative wheel to go on the back piece for the car. You use the same as the front piece to start out with, then it has all kinds of other stuff to go with it. I fussy cut out this little packages and Santa bag, and you won't see uh, some of them quite as good as you would since the little gnome guy is sitting there. But I figured there's enough there you can see to tell. I am not going to put these candy canes on center. I didn't notice it until a couple of minutes ago when I was looking at something on the car. But yeah, it's not quite center. It's close, but not quite. But it looks all right. I don't plan to go back and change it. I've done enough changing on this layout. I almost forgot the wheels though. I just happened to see them laying there when I went to put the foam tape on the back. If I'm making something with wheels, I like to stand it up and tap the wheels against the table. That way they end up about the same instead of one being taller or longer than the other. I'm just adding some white highlights here and there, and I won't think about the wheels until later, but I will get the white highlights on them. But isn't that the cutest car? I did think about using the red mirror with the silver or gold, but I kept thinking about that snowflake instead. and finally decided I wanted on the snowflake paper instead. I thought I can always make another car later and have the red mirror cardstock. I am going to put that sign right next to the car because I was thinking, like, if it came to a stop and there's a sign with all these directions on it and they say Santa's house, wrapping station, sleigh rides, wood workshop, candy makers, and reindeer. And then, uh, oh, I'm not putting the house on there yet, but you can see it over the tray. I looked back at the screen and just automatically thought that was what was going to be next. My title, I did make a couple of layers so it wouldn't be so thin because the letters are kind of on the skinny side, and if you don't make a couple layers and you don't put it straight down on the paper, it doesn't look quite as good. So there are a couple of layers on there. And notice how crooked it is. That was the first thing I noticed. And then when I went back in there to add the body part, have y'all figured it out yet? Which body part's missing? Um, I was done, took pictures, and when I took the last picture, I noticed how crooked it still was. So I am going to straighten it. Yeah, but the paper did tear in a couple of places. Well, maybe more in a couple little tiny places. But I had a fix for it. A lot more fussy cutting. I have another sheet of the red grid paper, so I could have got that. But I figured as long as I could save it, I was going to save it. My little house needed a little something extra, so I am adding trees to it so that, well, I thought about adding some pine branches, or some holly. I've even got the holly punch laying there, but I decided to fussy cut some of the trees. And here's those My Mind's Eye um, enamel dots. And I will put some up there on my title, but when I go to do it again, I will have some moved. I won't add any, I don't think. I don't think I do. But I'm going to fussy cut out some holly like is down there on the Santa bag and on the car and put it around the gnome for the holidays so that I can cover up the little places that are bright white. But I haven't told you about the photos. I was picking up all my grandkids for spend the weekend and help decorate my tree. And Casey got in the back so he could take care of the girls. And I still had one more kid to pick up. His brother's in there, but he didn't end up in the photos. I was just trying to take a picture of my good babysitter. And as you can tell, their coats was making their seatbelts so tight. Poor things. Don't forget to check out all the links down there below to see what everybody else is creating for the hop. If you leave a comment down there below, I'll try to get back with you. And if you like the video and hit the thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe. And those of you already are, thank you so very, very much. And thank you all for watching my video today. I appreciate that too. Yeah. Oh, I never did say what I had to put on the body part. His beard. I had to put the beard. So yeah, see there he has a beard. As you can see, that tiny little holly was covering up all the white spots. Well, and a bunch more places just to make it all match. But have a happy scrappy week. Have fun on the hop. Bye.